Hi everyone, my name's Anthony Cummins, and many moons ago I did a book on Viking martial arts right back at the beginning of my career, and Vinland Knife Fighting Society have been doing some bits for me to, video. Unfortunately, the sound is very difficult to hear on their video, but we'll put it anyway, so if I have to cut a lot out, you can't really hear it. So we're going to go through bits of that. So we're working from the book Viking Martial Arts by Anthony Cummins.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Chris.
And in collaborations with Anthony Cummins, we're working on the spear section of the Illustrated Guide to Viking Martial Arts.
Okay, so the first section is we're on page 76 around there, and we're talking about the different thrusts and the different ways you can thrust. Seeing that they could do nothing, they sprang onto the roof and began to break it in. Then he got to his feet, seized his spear and thrust it through the rafters, showing an upwards thrust. So for example, the lower thrust. So Lambie made a thrust at him in the thigh and a great wound was had. So he's thrusting down, we can see thrusting up, and there's other ones for the middle thrust.
And the thrust could either be done single-handedly, because you're holding a spear, another weapon, or a shield, or it can be done double. So you can go high, middle for the stomach to avoid the bones, or to the thigh to get the femoral or even the groin.
So next we have a backstab here. So you can see there's the backstab that goes through. The idea is that you don't always face off. So here's a couple, for example. Thereupon he turned sharply and fell upon Haldor. Then Bercy set the halberd point betwixt his shoulders, and it was his death wound. So such and such came next and thrust the bill at him and smote the shoulder blade, but glanced off towards the armpit. Hrunt saw that, he raised up his halberd and then struck such a guy through the back between the shoulders. I hate pronouncing foreign words. Thorbjorn was able to wound him severely between the shoulders. So we get this idea of being stabbed in the back through the shoulders. Either when they're turning combat or just sneaking up behind them, there's this idea that they're getting stabbed.
It's the backstab. So you're sneaking in on another enemy infiltrate, and the target is dead center in the back. So you want to just go in, and it directly goes through. And if you could imagine the spear going through, it won't look pretty whatsoever. So,
Right, there are not many examples of this. However, it says, on entering, the giant sprang up, seized a pike and struck at him, for he could both strike and thrust with it. He could both strike and thrust, yeah? So this idea that you can slash across or slash down, which is actually quite a lot done in other systems as well. Just because something's got a point on it, if the blade is long enough and you give a decent enough edge on it, you can hammer down, and it's all right, either it's concussion or it's slashing blows.
So a good one for the slash and cut is if you have multiple opponents. I only have Chris right now. You could slash to really clear some people out of the way, and then either stab and cut, or just slash, and the slash itself will constitute as a cut. Alright, so on Instagram you can find us under at Vinland Knife Fighting Guild. That's where we run our Hema Glima Viking Martial Arts base page. We're trying to reconstruct the Battlefield Viking martial art. We highly recommend the book The Illustrated Guide to Viking Martial Arts by Anthony Cummins for a good look at the historical use of weapons in Viking combat.
Right, guys, I'm sorry I had to cut quite a bit of their video out. Some of it was from the last video, the throws that you've seen before. If you've not seen it, look up throwing a Viking spear. But there was a lot of, you couldn't really hear a lot of what was going on. Now, of course, this is the book. Now, one day, I'd like to go out, boom, I'd like to get a studio and some equipment and go through these properly and get a training partner. It just needs quite a bit of funding, to be honest. I'd have to hire a studio for a few days, buy 2 shields, buy 2 spears, buy 2 swords, then probably get some t-shirts printed up for the day, and then go and film the book, which would be wonderful. And I would love to do it, but it would probably cost a bit more than I actually earn off the book, so it'd end up costing me so you could be entertained. So if anybody wants to fund that, that would be a welcome addition to I would get it done. I'd get the video done. But if not, we'll have to sell a few more of these Viking martial arts books. If we can get a lot more of those sold, I'll try and do the video, but it would take a while. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. do get yourself a copy. I really enjoyed doing this book. It's actually all from the sagas, so even if they're not historically accurate completely, it gives you an idea of how the 11th and 12th century people thought the Vikings fought, because this was written down in the Christian era later on. But that's what it's about. You got to investigate these things. So let me know what you think below. Please do go and support Chris and Connor over there. Everybody needs a bit of support. If somebody gets off their bottom and does something, go and support them. Do you know what I mean? They could be sitting on PlayStation, but no, they're getting out in the sunshine, doing a bit of spear fighting and following and promoting my work, which I'm very grateful for. So thank you very much, guys. See you later.